Today, we will introduce you to a truly fascinating country. It has neither valuable mineral resources, nor modern factories, nor fertile fields. Primary and secondary school education is mandatory and free, and the literacy rate in the country is 100%. They don't print their own money here. The unemployment rate is just 5%. There's no airport, no railway transport, just about 200 kilometers of paved roads. The country has never had an army or a ministry of armed forces. Lawyers and their activities are banned, and the crime rate is among the lowest in the world, with only 154 crimes per 100,000 residents. The postal service is free for everyone. This country ranks second in the world for tourists per capita, surpassed only by the Vatican. The average life expectancy is 83 years, placing it second globally, behind only Japan. This high life expectancy is supported by pristine air, a cold but sun-rich climate with 300 sunny days a year, and high-quality healthcare, which is provided free to all working citizens and their families. Transactions in the country can be conducted in any currency, since there's no strict currency control. The vast majority of the territory consists of mountains, forests, rivers, lakes, and meadows. The environment here is protected, and the nature is unparalleled. Every tourist feels at ease in comfortable, excellent service, and friendly people are everywhere. It's all very cultured and civilized, and you don't really want to leave. This is Andorra. Finding Andorra on a map for the first time isn't easy. Its small territory of 468 square kilometers is nestled between its giant neighbors, Spain and France, whose sizes are 1,000 times larger. Tiny Andorra is amazing and attractive in every way. People here live long lives. There's no need for an army. The climate is pleasant, and life is calm and measured. The locals are reserved and don't like to stand out, even in their clothing choices, blending in with the local stone landscapes. The houses and unassuming streets aren't flashy with bright advertisements, and only come alive with tourists in the evening. Yet, according to shopping enthusiasts, this is where you can find the best goods at the best prices in Europe. The country is a duty-free zone, so it's no surprise that stores offer branded items 20–40% cheaper than in similar shops across Europe. Andorra has been a remarkable country, especially over the past half-century. In the 1960s, during the height of military and nuclear escalation in the Cold War in the United States, hippies highly valued Andorra's long-standing tradition of peace, neutrality, and demilitarization. The reason: Andorra spent just $4.90 per year on weapons. Unlike many larger nations, it was a safe country. Moreover, during that decade, Andorrans experienced a significant improvement in their quality of life, thanks to treaty fueled by its status as a tax haven and smuggling and tourism. With ski resorts and sports facilities starting to emerge, the demand for labor caused by this economic success led to significant immigration from Spain and, to a lesser extent, Portugal, eventually surpassing the native population. Today, the Principality of Andorra primarily earns its income from tourism, which is boosted by its geographic location. The country lies between gentle slopes, home to numerous world-famous ski resorts like Andorra La Vella, the capital, as well as golf clubs. Additionally, the absence of many taxes and export duties keeps prices low, encouraging shopping tourism. Affordable shopping attracts not only tourists from neighboring Spain and France, with whom Andorra shares borders, but also visitors from other European countries. Each year, this tiny state, 467 square kilometers, with a population of 90,000, welcomes over 10 million tourists, making it one of the most tourist-friendly countries in the world. Over the past 10 centuries, Andorra has seen no major military conflicts, so the need for an army naturally faded away. The police are sufficient to handle the rare conflicts between residents or rowdy tourists. As a result, Professions like jailers and lawyers have died out. Andorra is associated with France and Spain, meaning that while it's formally an independent state, it entrusts some of its authority to its two neighboring countries, which appoint two co-princes, the President of France and the Bishop of Urgel from Spain. In reality, the country is governed by a unicameral parliament called the General Council of the Valleys. It's worth noting that Andorra is not part of the European Union. Spain and France are responsible for its external security. Today, the population is roughly 50% native residents and 50% immigrants. Low taxes and a high level of trust in banking attract newcomers. The significant percentage of former Russian citizens now living in Andorra is evident from the presence of Russian-speaking staff in every Andorran bank. The comfortable living conditions, warm climate, clean mountain air, and one of the highest life expectancies in the world, 83 years, also play a role in attracting people to this tiny state. The tourism sector accounts for 80% of the country's GDP, making it the main source of revenue for the state budget. The most popular time is the ski season, which runs from early December to mid-April. In summer, tourists are drawn to the scenic mountain landscapes and medieval landmarks. In the capital, Andorra la Vella, alone, there are 40 hotels and just as many spa resorts. The development of tourism, which the authorities began promoting in the mid-20th century, attracted foreign investment and spurred construction, leading to rising land prices. Interestingly, Andorra has no airports or railways, and a road transport exists. The first road connecting the country to Spain was built in 1911, and the one to France in 1933. However, if you look closer at Andorra's economic system, it becomes clear that it's essentially based on libertarian principles. This has made Andorra a European tax haven, with the banking sector playing a significant role in the economy. For the same reasons, trade in luxury goods thrives here. Andorra is a duty-free zone, allowing people to buy various products at 25–40% discounts compared to prices in Spain or France. And here we circle back to tourism. Most foreigners visit Andorra for a day from neighboring France and Spain to take advantage of the significantly lower prices. In Andorra, prices are incredibly low on the most popular items, which has fueled the rise of shopping tourism. According to visitors, the new part of Andorra la Vella, the modern district of the capital, feels more like a giant duty-free store. It's worth mentioning the currency issue and how it's handled in Andorra. Officially, the country isn't part of the Eurozone, but it uses the euro on its territory. Andorra has no currency of its own. You could say it joined the Eurozone informally, without consulting other European nations or conducting negotiations. At the same time, transactions in the country can't be made in any currency, since there's no formal currency control. Andorra's special tax regime allows for flexible arrangements. Most small shops and restaurants accept dollars without issue, and credit cards from major global systems and travelers' checks are widely used. The country's challenging geographic location, combined with the need to provide remote banking services and connectivity for tourists, has led to remarkably well-developed telecommunications. By the end of 2010, every home in the country had fiber optic internet with a minimum speed of 100 megabits per second. In Andorra, there's no private ownership of land, pastures, forests, or mineral resource to belong to the state or communes, which distribute land for farming and grazing among individuals. Since medieval times, profits from the sale of meat and apothecary goods have gone to the principality's treasury, forming one of its income sources. Industry, as a sector of the economy, is practically non-existent in Andorra. There are a few small enterprises, but they play no significant role in the country's economy. Iron ore reserves, which supported primitive metallurgy in the past, were depleted by the end of the last century, and now Andorra imports metal products from other countries. One of the more notable sectors of Andorra's economy is electricity production. Small but turbulent rivers across the country host tiny power stations that supply electricity to nearby villages. The largest of these, by Andorran standards, with a capacity of 26.5 megawatts, is located in the town of Les Escauts on the Valira River. Some of the electricity it generates is exported to Catalonia. In recent years, the production of local souvenirs has also grown, driven by the rise in foreign tourism. Items like Andorran varieties of grape wines, sealed in small glass vessels with wide necks and narrow spouts, called porrons, as well as massive cigars up to half a meter long and weighing nearly a kilogram, are popular among visitors. When talking about Andorra's current prosperity, it's important to remember that for centuries, since 1278, it was a closed-off, impoverished country. Its residents survived on modest agriculture and less modest smuggling through the Pyrenees. So how does a small mountainous country, which only shed the remnants of feudalism in 1993, with no oil, gas, or diamonds, manage to thrive? It boasts a GDP of $50,000 per capita and continues to grow. It hasn't squandered or mismanaged its reserves because it simply doesn't have any. The standard of living is now noticeably higher than in neighboring Spain, which once had colonies all over the world. How and why did they succeed? Perhaps it all comes down to the people themselves, their culture and traditions.